Who invented ice skating? Man has been skating in one way or another for over 500 years. Ice skating is much older than skating, because skating goes back to the 18th century. Roller skates were used on Dutch roads nearly 200 years ago, and we don't really know who first made or used them. A man named J.E.L. Plimpton in New York invented the quad roller skate in 1863. He worked on rubber pads, and it was roller skates that made this sport really popular. The next development was ball-bearing skates. The wheels of roller skates were originally made of boxwood, but the edges of the wooden wheels broke very easily. Soon the wheels were made of hard compound or steel. Roller skating was very popular in America until 1910, when it was replaced by motorcycle and sports car racing. But, of course, roller skating remained one of the favorite sports of young people. Lee skating goes beyond the 16th century. At that time, the Norsemen strapped bone-made runners to their feet and glided over the icy surfaces. Iron runners were later used in ice skating, followed by today's steel runners. In the early days, the skate runner was attached to the foot with leather straps, then the skate was clamped and tied to the shoe. In modem skates, the blade is permanently attached to the skate boot. How skiing started. You may think skiing is a modern sport, but it is actually one of the oldest forms of travel known to man. The word itself comes from the Icelandic word sid, meaning snowshoe or piece of wood. Some historians claim that skiing goes back to the Stone Age, and they have found ancient carvings depicting people skiing. Long before Christianity appeared, ancient Lapps were known in Scandinavia as skridfinnen or sliders. There was even a ski goddess, and the winter gods were depicted on a pair of skis with curved toes. The first skis with any record were long, curved frames, usually made of animal bones and attached to the feet with straps. There is also a painting of a 900-year-old skier carved into the rock. It started in Norway as a ski sport. Province or Telemark. In fact, the town of Morgedal in this state of Norway is known as the cradle of skiing. Since this area would be covered with snow for a long time at a time, it was necessary to use skis to get around. In winter, when the locals were hunted or trapped in the mountains or went to neighboring villages to market or visit, they had to depend on skiing. If you thought ski meetups were a modern take, you might be surprised to know that as long ago as 1767 they held ski competitions for prizes in Norway. Where did the ice hockey game start? Ice hockey is considered the fastest game in the world. Doe is played by two teams of 6 in action in time. Extra players or substitutes sit on the sidelines. Each team tries to do two things: put a small rubber disc called a disc in the opponent's net and prevent the opponent from scoring. Today, ice hockey is one of many games played with sticks and balls. Such games are believed to have originated in Iran, where the game of polo originated. We know that the ancient Greeks played a form of hockey and even included it in the Olympic Games. In Athens, Greece, there is a nearly 2,400-year-old wall carving pictures of young men playing a game much like today's field hockey. Ice hockey originated in Canada more than 100 years ago. One claim is that British soldiers played an early form of ice hockey on the frozen surfaces of Lake Ontario in Kingston, Ontario, as early as 1867. The first organized ice hockey leagues are claimed by both Kingston and Montreal. It is known that in 1885 there was an ice hockey league in Kingston for sure. In 1890, the Ontario Hockey Association was organized with 10 teams. In 1914, the Canadian Amateur Hockey Association was formed with a few thousand players. So the birthplace of amateur ice hockey was Canada, but the United States for the first time organized ice hockey on a professional basis. In the winter of 1904-1905, a professional ice hockey league was founded in Houghton, Michigan. The National Ice Hockey League, the world's only major professional league.